My name is Vince DeStasi. I'm with Grove City College, and I'm the Vice President of Information Technology. Grove City College is located about an hour north of Pittsburgh. 95% of our students live on campus. It's critical that the wireless not only have high density, but high performance with the number of students and the number of devices that are always on that they bring with them. The user experience is really important to us. In a lot of ways, we're expecting these technologies to be as solid as a pen and a piece of paper or chalk and a blackboard. They just need to work all the time. So our network is very comprehensive. We have about 14,000 wired ports and approximately 1,200 wireless access points throughout the campus. Multi-gig Ethernet is really going to be important for us just because of the variety of speeds that we're expecting and just the throughput from the students. So the switching platform that we're using, the 5400R series switches, are really important to us because they're the backbone to the wireless system. The 5400R allows us to have great performance, regardless if it's a wired connection from a workstation or a desktop to a wireless connection from 100 mobile devices in one particular area. The 5400R is the perfect balance of performance, the right price point. It lasts a long time. The main reason we chose Aruba Wave 2 access points is that they had a comprehensive solution throughout. Not only did they deal with fast speeds and high densities, but they also had all the management tools that we required in order to troubleshoot wireless problems. The big thing about the Wave 2 AP supporting our environment is that in classroom buildings specifically, there are really peak times throughout the day where you may have thousands of students, and there are not, to our knowledge, any products that handle that density as well as the Aruba Wave 2 products. Our goal is to basically have everything under one pane of glass. So instead of deploying all these management systems and having to jump from one to the other and correlate information, Airwave helps us correlate all of that. So anything from heat maps to where our wireless access points are performing to where they may be problematic or being proactive in letting us know that problems are arising before the end user even sees them is really, really important. The reason we chose Aruba is just the comprehensive suite of applications, the engineering that goes behind it, the thought, and then the longevity of the product. We're convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that they understand that space very well, and they have a lot of things that will be coming up, and they'll stay ahead of the industry more than anyone else. The biggest outcome from that is just a much happier employee pool and a much happier student pool, knowing that the system will be so solid that wireless communication will just be seamless.
When I first started at CWT, it was frustrating back then because the wireless just didn't work. There were calls from people complaining about the wireless, that the wireless was dropping or the wireless is slow. My name is Leroy. I'm Senior System Engineer for CWT GlobeLink. CWT GlobeLink does freight forwarding. We are the intermediaries between the companies that own the cargo ships and customers. Well, it's crucial to have Wi-Fi that just works because 25% of our users are mobile users. So it's critical that users have a Wi-Fi that is stable and fast. What made Aruba stand out from the other solutions was the port and also their lifetime warranty, lifetime firmware updates, which compared to brand X, you don't really get. They expect you to pay quite a hefty sum of money. Now we are using a Aruba call switch and the Aruba IAPs. The most valuable features of the Aruba IAPs, I would say, is the manageability and also the integration with the ClearPass network access control. Since we hold plenty of customer data, it's critical securing our network. We can have seamless roaming between any of the APs. That means for the employees, they can be mobile. It means people can be more productive. It's around 10 times as fast compared to my previous network. There are no complaints now.
Royal Academy of San Fernando in Spain is one of the oldest public institutions in the country, and we house a large collection going from the Renaissance to the 21st century. This is where Goya taught, and some of his paintings arrive in the collection within his own lifetime. So it's really a very special place and a historical highlight for any art lover in Madrid. We were delighted to join in this project because our collection is spread over 3 floors. Now, thanks to Aruba and Museum Experience, the visitor can find on the screen of his or her tablet or smartphone many practical informations. For example, where are the restrooms? Where is the exit? Is there any access for a wheelchair or baby stroller? And also many particular works of art that the visitor may have an interest in.
In this project, we made use of 2 different Aruba Networks technologies, our best-in-class Wi-Fi and the new and amazing technology of Aruba Beacons and Meridian. This works like an indoor GPS. The small battery-powered beacons transmit a Bluetooth signal that a Meridian app can convert into a very accurate position. This technology can be used not only in museums, but also in any kind of public venues, like hotels and resorts, malls, airports, and even corporate campuses. Using it together with our Aruba wireless networks offers us a great advantage, as it allows the centralized management of the beacon's deployment.
In Museum Experience, we wanted to enhance visitors' experience at museums, so we designed a mobile app focusing on that. To deliver that experience, we needed to include an indoor real-time location system. So we made a deep search in the market till we found Meridian. Thanks to Aruba Beacons, we can deliver a superb and a unique experience at museums. Museums can add all kinds of information to the mobile app, including text, audio, video, photo, almost whatever. They can prepare also guided tours depending on their visitor's profile, for kids, for experts, or tours for 1 hour or tours for 2 hours. Even visitors can prepare their own tour. And this will happen in almost any language, and also the museum can interact with their visitors through the push notifications. Museum Experience obtains all sorts of information to understand visitors' behavior, including most popular exhibits, dwell time, heat maps. This information helps the museum to improve visitor experience and also to improve operations efficiency.
This project has made available to the visitors a practical and innovative way to customize the visit to the particular taste or interest of every person. And it is very exciting to find that our cultural heritage has now been joined with the latest technology, and we feel sure that this was the right decision.
University of Cambridge is a brand everybody's familiar with, but actually it's an umbrella term for 170, 180 institutions. That's colleges, departments, faculties. The city centre is the campus at Cambridge. Cambridge has always had a sense of mobility. Students, researchers have always moved between colleges and departments. Nowadays, the university is a research-heavy organisation, and you can no longer do 21st century science in a historic medieval course. So it's investing heavily in new buildings out in the west and the south of the city. And part of that is making sure that people can still roam and still interact. The Aruba solution is really allowing that mobility. When I came to this role several years ago, there were 150 different wireless solutions. There was no central offering that was providing what people were after, and so each institution or college or department has created their own homebrew, their own developed wireless. The challenge was to create a seamless estate where you can roam between all the buildings and the colleges and the departments. It's been an iterative process. We've started by deploying to some areas that were desperately in need of some fairly commodity wireless, and then as we've extended and our resources have allowed, we've developed and created a wireless service that's actually fit for purpose in many of the different institutions. We don't provide network technology, we provide services. It's such a large and complex and varied estate that you have to follow the data. You have to have visibility to see how people are using it, where they're using it, where there's bottlenecks, where there's issues on the collegiate network. We're very much trying to pursue a solution that continues to meet the user's expectations.
To get the infrastructure into a building, we have to be very conscious of the environment. So you may have a very ornate environment you have to put the equipment in, but it may have to be hidden. Some of these walls can be 3 foot thick in places. That means getting signal into areas is very difficult, especially if I have restrictions on where I can place the equipment. So you have to have some degree of sympathy to the building's structure, but you also need to have your radio frequency engineer's hat on to get good coverage. Probably the most challenging environment we've had in Cambridge is covering the outdoor spaces. We had to work out how to get our network to those locations, so we extended our fibre optic network. We then had to re-engineer lampposts to accommodate the access points. In the last 12 months alone, we've deployed an additional 1,000 access points, taking us up to roughly 5,000. Well, look above you. It's on this CCTV column here.
Oh, fantastic.
And we've got our fibre optic network into the base of the column. So we work together with the City and County Council to deploy wireless access points in the city. The best characteristic of the Aruba solution is its flexibility. We need to have a solution that is flexible to the needs of all the institutions out there. And I need to have management oversight of that entire deployment. We use the Aruba Airwave platform, and that allows me to sit in my office in the west of Cambridge and see what's going on in the radio frequency environment in buildings on the other side of Cambridge. We have 320,000 unique devices on the network every month, and on the wireless we're shifting about 800 terabytes of data, which is absolutely massive. It's about 25% of all our internet traffic, which was in single digits when we started this in 2012. Cyber security is very important for the university at the moment. Inbuilt into the Aruba controllers is the policy enforcement firewall, which we use quite heavily to lock down the controllers. We don't lock people out of the network, but we also make sure it's secure.
Aruba has been a very dependable infrastructure. I think it's going to be interesting to see quite how IoT evolves over the next few years. We're going to see far more devices. We're going to have less control over those devices, and we're going to have to respond to that fairly dynamically. We certainly want to go to more city centre locations. We're working to try to get wireless at the local railway station because that's where people first arrive at Cambridge and that's their first interaction. The Aruba solution just gives us that flexibility, that ability to respond to what's out there. I'm very optimistic that we'll continue to be relevant as we go forwards.